So let's take a little look at a book study and how we could create a really efficient and insightful book study with our team. So over here, what we're going to do is, again, in the create area, we're going to click to create. And up here, we're going to be quite specific about what we're going to look at. So this is going to be English Key Stage 2. And again, I'm going to put a date into here too. That means it's labeled nice and clearly as we start to key in the search tools and use, we can see the English back catalogue, English Key Stage 2, we can refine that search as well. So again, be specific about the focus. I'd say as well, to begin with, let's go with expected standard. So we're going to focus just on Key Stage 2, but the expected standard, which means it's going to be quicker, and then we're going to be able to kind of evaluate the learning, the expected standard across the cohort or between the year groups with the expected standard. So we're kind of creating that ladder and taking photos at the same time of the expected standard so we can see the progression in learning. So here we're going to go and select the book study, and then we're going to select our area of study, English. That means that we can filter by English on the dashboard, and we're going to add a tag to this one as well. So we're going to add the expected standard, and that means we can filter on the dashboard by English and then filter by expected standard too. We won't use the stars. I think for this one, we'll use the evaluation statements. You can take a look and see how it feels with those. And there's our book study, but it hasn't yet been assigned. So this is, I'm going to assign it to myself. So I'm Jules Verne, and that means that I'm going to get the books in from, let's say, 4 people. Let's say we're one form entry, and that means we've got year 3, 4, 5, and 6. It's ready to go. As we move across now into the walks, you'll see those are ready there in the to-do list. You can either do this on an iPad, but you may well be doing this on a laptop because you've got half an hour of PPA time. So it's a good way to really utilize that leadership management time, put something into the system, evaluate the learning in books, capture some feedback for your colleagues, create instant reports, take photographs to put those into the system, build that dashboard so we've got that wider context over time as well. Not forgetting that when we take pictures, we're also, even though it's English, we're going to tag with send and pupil premium so other leaders can also use what's going into the gallery to be able to quality show at the same time. So we're doing lots of cross-referencing there with those tags. So in here, you can see there's the book study. As I click on here, it's going to bring up the book study, and I'm going to populate this. Just very short sentences because it's all about giving quick feedback, and we want to make sure that we can evaluate and that we don't overload. So the feedback needs to be efficient because it's going to be the same day. Bearing in mind as well, big disclaimer, you can edit and change all of the content here in the builder if you want to head into there, make a clone or a copy and then just play around with it, or you can create your own from scratch. So here we're looking at presentation, the content, age-appropriate program of study, pupil contributions, sufficient time to secure progress, and then we're looking at progress on the day, Monday to Friday, first page to last page. We're looking at the challenge that we've got, and also we're looking at the marking and feedback, so the application of your policy, and we're taking photographs, as we mentioned before, to make sure that we've got that good record and we're creating that portfolio of standards across the school. So really important to do that. And because we're only doing the expected standard and I've got a couple of books from each teacher, I only need to submit one of these per teacher, not per book, because that will be excessive. So one per teacher. And as we put this one into the system, then obviously we can come back and complete the other ones. So it's probably for this one going to be a 30 or a 35-minute exercise, which is going to be fairly quick. If it was a focus area and English was something that was a priority in our school improvement plan, I might invite a colleague down from somewhere, another school. I might invite them into school, and that means that we would be able to moderate together. We could add some more detail. We could create a report that was a little bit more thorough for different purposes. So it's a good opportunity to be able to work in that way as well with those wider networks. So you can see here those areas, we put them in, and not forgetting as well, I always mention this, but using the voice type as well, which can really help us to save time. I really like the way that you've marked the children's books, full stop. Why not feed back to the whole class at the beginning of the next lesson to cover any misconceptions, full stop. So that's just a right click using the voice type. I can also, if that set that as a next step, because you can see here it's effective, but we're going to talk about what we could do to be highly effective, bearing in mind that we're looking at the effectiveness of teaching and learning for this process and not judging teachers. So let's make that distinction clear. And here we've got a nice recommendation. We can pick that out in the workflow and feed that back so we can distill that down and share that nice and quickly. So there you go. So as we then add that into the system, then we can complete the next ones that we've got listed. So let's just pop those here. So entry complete. And then you'll see I've got those three outstanding. So we could do them today in one session, but fairly quick, efficient way of being able to really utilize that time that you've got, that leadership management time, which is at a premium. So a nice, quick way to be able to work, build up that system, build up that overview on the dashboard as well. So we've got a really thorough insight, strategic insight, as well as being able to provide that feedback on the same day for our colleagues too. So there you go. That's how to do a book study.